we wrote a song called "Hey You, What About Our Own?" And what are the only thing that it deals with? It doesn't deal with one set of people. It deals with everybody that's coming over illegally. All right, that's all this song deals with. I had a guy that used to sing with me, actually called me racist for the lyrical content, and look, it's on Twitter, it's on YouTube, it's on, what else is it on?
It's on TikTok.
It's on all the media channels. The song is called "Hey You, What About Our Own?" Okay, and all we talk about is the fact that we as American citizens don't mind anybody coming over because we're all immigrants from one place, one country or another.
Absolutely.
Okay. My family, one part of my family comes from Italy. The other part was born and raised right here. My Native American counterparts were born right here. And I'm also Mexican. So when people say, hey, that's a racist, the words are racist, I have to say, get the fuck away from me. It's not racist. The song only talks about, if you want to come over the right way, because there's too much shit going on. And look, you're not going to overload your home by putting your air conditioner on, your refrigerator, 5 TVs. You're going to blow circuits. That's what's going on right now. There's too many people coming in at one time. Do you agree with me?
I do agree with you on that. Thing of it is, there's a lot of families trying to get away from poverty. But at the same token, coming across that border are drug cartel, terrorists, criminals, and they're just walking right in. And they're being given Social Security, medical cards,
Housing.
Housing ain't the word for it. They're staying in like
posh motels.
Posh hotels in New York.
New York City. Okay. On the Upper East Side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we got a lot of people, in America that's sleeping in the street right now. So,
and don't get me wrong. Like I said, my family, the one side of my family, they come from Italy, but they didn't sneak through the border to get here. They had to come here the right way. They landed in Ellis Island. Half of them moved to New York. They moved to Philly, and they moved to Camden. And that's the way it was, and that's the way it should be now. No one wants to take anything away from anybody at all. Please don't get me wrong when I'm saying this. Everybody should have a fair shake.
Yeah.
But we as Americans, when I see homeless on the streets, when I see kids dying from drug overdoses, okay, when I'm a veteran myself, when I see veterans that have my cousin, I'm not going to mention his name, he went to Nam. He came back scrambled. He's still doing drugs to this day. We're the same age. He looks 90 years old. Okay? And every time I look at him, I say to myself, he never caught the break that he needed. He's been a drug addict since the 70s, and he hasn't changed. Okay? And it breaks my heart to see him like this. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, we seen a lot of guys being snatched right off the corners back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hanging on the corner with you one day and going on the next.
Yeah. We've seen it. We've witnessed
that with our own eyes.
We've seen, I have a few years on stretch. We've been through the riots. We've seen the rise of Camden. We've seen the fall of Camden. And I got to tell you the truth, it breaks my heart to see that city crumble the way it crumbled, and these half-ass politicians, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. Okay, if you have a left wing, if you have a right wing, it takes two wings to fly a plane.
Right.
All right, it takes two friggin' wings to fly a plane. All right, not just the Republicans, not just the Democrats. Everybody has to get together on this and think as one. See, they're bringing it as one big chess game, and they're using us as pawns. And again, I'm not only talking about the Democrats and the Republicans. I'm talking about all these jerks together. Okay, this is my feeling towards it. Like I said, I've seen the rise of Camden when you had the New York Shipyard, you had Campbell's Soup, you had RCA, you had all these other McAndrews and Forbes, you had all these factories. Yeah. Now there's nothing. You go down Broadway and
it's blight.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
That's every major city in America, actually.
Every major city.
That's every major city in America.
You could put Chicago, Philly, New York.
Oh, yeah.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
They're the same people, the same drug addicts. I don't care if you're white, black, Puerto Rican. I don't care. They're all the same. We, K&A, Kensington, and Philly. That used to be the spot to go to under the L, where you could shop for Christmas and get anything you wanted to get for your kiddies, for this, for that, and not worry about it. Now you can't drive through K&A, and the cops just turn a blind eye and let these souls, because to me they're lost souls that have nowhere to go. And I don't know if you've ever seen it in person, up close and personal, Amelia, but we've seen it. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4 siblings die of drug overdoses. One froze to death. I found him froze to death to the ground. The other one died in my arms. 2 more died. I have 4 brothers and sisters that have died. I have another brother who's doing life in prison from drugs and alcohol. So he's seen it. I mean, it's and these woke, these so-called woke people that get up and wave a banner against the Jews, or it could be tomorrow, it could be against the Polish people. Next week, it could be because you're too fucking blue, or you're not blue enough. Okay, and they wave these banners, and I question, what the fuck are you doing? Do you know what from the river to the sea even means before you get out there and wave your fucking banner and ooh, this, that, and the other? You got to know what it means. You got to know that from the river to the fucking sea means from the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea. When they say push, they're talking about pushing the Jews back, annihilating the Jews. That's what it's about. And these idiots that want to wave their banners. I watched last night on whatever channel it was, the World Trade Center. They had shown different footage, different angles of how these planes hit. Come on. And everybody forgot about that already? That's done? Now they're talking about, let's go on the side of Hamas. Do they know what they're talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of think, and I mean, I'm not much on conspiracy, but I kind of think those planes, that was a false flag. That's just my opinion. That was a false flag to rally the country so we can go into Iraq.
Oh yeah, we did a show about that.
That's the way war started. That's the way the Second World War started. They claimed the shot came across the bow, of a boat that started the Second World War. And that we know how that ended. Yeah, that ended with 2 atomic bombs being dropped. So
Nagasaki and Hiroshima. People don't realize that, and the victims were encamped in prisons.
Yeah.
Right here on this soil.
Right.
So with these idiot morons that aren't educated, and I'm not saying I'm a scholar in this because, hey, I'm new to the game myself.
Right.
All I'm doing is following what I see with these answers that they can't even give a straight answer. How the hell can you, as a person, take your kid to a parade and watch a grown man shake his junk in front of everybody, in front of 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds? Makes no sense to me. And I heard on an interview where one of the guys was interviewing the cops, and they said, well, as long as he's not masturbating, it's fine. As long as he's not showing any sexuality. The one guy with the fucking bunny face. Did you see him hopping down the fucking street naked?
I tell you, they're shot out.
Shot out ain't the word, man.
They're shot out. That's all I can say about it.
Shot out isn't the word, man.
They are shot out.
Beyond shot out, man. It's anyway.
What do you think about the musicians now going to as an independent artist instead of going through labels now as well? Do you think that's a good thing now as well?
I'll let you take that one.
What do I think about them being independent?
Yeah.
As artists?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's a great thing, but there's a lot that goes with that, because a lot of people don't realize in today's market.
Mm-hmm.
When I was coming up, the average cost of a record deal was $300,000,
Mm-hmm.
and that price was put out there like that because you had to be competitive with your competitors.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Today's price,
because of the record labels, like you were mentioned earlier. That's what was
right.
my question. Yeah.
Today's market, you need $3 million to put out a record today.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And that's just to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying you can't put a record out and it might
do something.
It might do something through the internet, storm through the internet, but
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way today's market is. But to be independent, I think that's a great thing if you can do it.
You got to figure back then,
Mm-hmm.
when a label signed you on, especially in the 60s,
Mm-hmm.
and even as far back as the 50s, when a label signed you on, they would put their John Hancock as if they wrote the song too, which they had nothing to do with.
Yeah, they would claim all rights and give you
peanuts,
2-3% on the record if you got that.
We've been through the mill when it comes to the world of music. Yeah, I'm a writer. I produce. I'm a singer. Stretch is a guitar player. He's a singer. He's a writer. We've been in this game of music since we were teenagers together.
Yeah.
We started out like that.
Yeah.
But in today's world, and I'm going to say this, if you can show ass and tits, you got a deal.
It's about marketing today,
You got a deal. You don't even have to have good vocals today.
Yeah, they put you on auto-tune.
Put you on auto-tune, show some flesh, write a raunchy ass song where the kids go, yeah, and boom, you're in.
You're gold. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Amelia?
Sure.
Why did you bring that up?
Because you had mentioned earlier about the record labels and things like that, how they were doing, in America, things like that.
The whole industry is changed as we know it. As when we were coming up, you had to know your craft.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not saying anything against the artists that are out here today, but I can tell that they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Okay. And they're not talented.
It's the truth.
They're not. You take an artist like Taylor Swift.
Right.
That girl's raking in
billions of dollars. She's playing 4-chord songs, but there's such thing in the business as phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
And once you capitalize on that phenomenon and you have the money to capitalize on it, it just takes you further. But
Right.
years ago, you had to be talented.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
I'll take another artist is Beyonce. You know, is she superstar material?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she is. Is she a real talented singer? Is she a real artist? No, she's not. Okay, but she's got millions of dollars behind her, and they can promote her any way they want.
Right.
She's not a Whitney Houston. She's not, on the levels of like what Michael Jackson was. She's probably made more money than all of them put together, but she's not on those levels. I would love to hear her in the Raw. That's why I would love to hear her in the Raw.
That's like Mariah Carey. Listen, I watched her just take a nosedive on, I think it was the national anthem,
Yeah.
where she tried to sing it. Fergie tried to sing it. Listen, you cannot, if you can't handle it, don't even try it. If you can't handle, if you got a strain in the studio and they have to doctor you up in the studio, you're going to strain in person. You got to stay in your lane. But I have to disagree with one thing that Stretch said about Beyonce. I watched her in a movie called Chess Records.
Yeah, I seen her in that.
I loved her. I loved her with that one song, man. It was
Yeah, I mean,
I thought she was like, oh my God.
I just don't think that she is a raw talent. She is what I consider to be so marketable.
Right, I see what you're saying.
That her rawness doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like again, back in the day, people were signing raw talent. They're not signing that today. They're signing who is marketable today.
Yeah, there's no such
Because
thing.
we can do anything we want in the studio with you. And again, you can't rule out the nature of the natural phenomenon that takes place. Because you got a lot of artists that's been released, a lot of them are one-hit wonders, right?
Yeah.
So it's the ones that you can do the comeback on, the ones that are, you can bank on them. You can actually bank on them. Like, in another 6 months, I'm going to release another record. And to be quite honest, Beyonce can do anything she wants. At this stage of the game, she can shit on a record and it'll be gold.
Yeah.
Well, platinum actually.
Yeah, but it's like this. I look at 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2, 10, 20, 7 decades of music I have under my belt. 7 decades where I've learned it from as a kid listening to doo-wop on up to listening to the music that's out there today. Music has changed drastically. Like Stretch said, you have maybe 2 chords and not even there's not even what we used to call back in the 70s a channel.
Yeah,
there's not even a bridge anymore.
The music today is mindless. It really is. It's mindless.
No substance.
It's just like when I play with like the local bands and stuff. The whole time I'm on that stage, I'm so bored because the music is just mindless. And we're playing all the new stuff that's out. We do old school stuff too, but the music is really, really mindless.
I'll put it to you this way.
You'd have to play it to realize that, oh man, I'm going through this again.
I'll put it to you this way. Back in the day, you could go to a concert like Earth, Wind, and Fire, or Kool and the Gang, or whoever. You could sit back with a date, relax, or hang out with your buddies, go see an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert, and you come out pumped. You would learn something from these guys. You would go home and say, hey, guess what? I think I'm going to write a song in that style. Okay? You got to worry about getting shot going to a concert today.
Yeah. How about that?
You got to worry about ducking undercover.
How about that?
And it's not only the intended target, it's everybody that's in the way that's going to get sprayed. Okay? You can't even go to a 4th of July party without something happening. And that's in every city in the United States. Why is that?
Mhm.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we.
Hey, we're back.
Yes, we're back. We were talking about
Sweaty balls?
It's the commercial.
That was the commercial.
Yeah.
My nuts almost feel dry just watching that commercial.
Oh God. Anyway, we were talking about, back in the day, you could go to a nice concert, and get in with the music and have a great time. And now it's like you got to worry about getting shot, and not to say we didn't go through some things back in the 70s, because we went through a whole lot of bullshit in the 70s ourselves. But things have just changed drastically, and I don't know where it's going to go from here. How about you?
I have no idea. If you ask me, we're living in the last days of time. That's the way I see it. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's the way I see it.
I think that would be for another subject.
That's going to be for another subject, because
Yes. Right now, we're talking about how music has changed. Actually, how it's influencing everybody out.
well, yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was the same way with us coming up, okay? Because they were promoting, certain songs were promoting certain things, drugs and shit like that. So it would make you want to go out and try them things when we were coming up.
Yeah.
But now they're promoting, bang, bang, shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
And you're taking young minds and you're actually poisoning young minds by doing that. And that's all these kids got, what they have to look forward to. And they think it's cool. They think it's, it's a culture.
It's
a culture.
You said
man.
it right.
It's a culture. It's a gang banging culture.
Yeah.
And you're either down with that or you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, but where do these young kids go to get educated to where they can have someone that can say, you know what, there's another way out. Man.
Well, yeah, there is.
Do you think they're too far gone? I'm asking.
Oh yeah, well, most of them are.
So how do we bring them back? How do we bring the youth back to just being respectful? In other words,
that's a $64,000 question. They have to be raised like that. They have to be raised. They put in the law where you can't correct your child. When we were coming up, my father whooped my ass.
you got an ass beaten.
Okay.
You got an
You can't put your hands on your kids. Now you go to jail.
it was a healthy ass.
They like it like that. It's society's play. It keeps the prison system full. It keeps the judges paid. It keeps the lawyers paid. It keeps the cops on the street. Everybody's making money now. It's not about, let's have a good society. It's about how much money can we make off of these fools.
Yeah, but how do you figure it's keeping the cops on the streets when the police departments and all of these inner cities are being defunded?
Well,
and they say that
then it's like this. If let's say there was no crime in America, the judges would be out of business, the lawyers would be out of business. It's a ball of wax, man. This is all by design. It's all by design.
I understand that, but
it's done all by design.
But
man.
my question is, why
they got us living on the plantation? That's what it is, man. Bottom line. So you have to really understand that, and you got to get you somehow. If you're poor, you're going to have a hard time. If you're born with a silver spoon up your ass, then it's a different story.
Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
and that's always been the case scenario.
yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I understand that.
It's sad, but it's it's the truth.
Yeah. But my thing is, man. I mean, when you're afraid to walk the streets,
yeah. Imagine that. I mean,
when you have to lock up everything in your house just to keep what you have,
there is no one right answer to that. Now, you would have a thought to say, hey, man, well, we got to beef up the law. We got to beef up police. And all cities are trying to do that.
No, they're not.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's beef there. I think they hired 1,500 cops.
Did they?
Yeah.
Even though that
ain't enough.
Even though it's what's it called, a sanctuary city?
Sanctuary city or not, I mean, it makes it really tougher on the police when they're on the street, being a sanctuary state. But
they can't apprehend you there's got to be a certain way that they have to apprehend you. I'm just going to say it. When I was a kid, there's no angel. I was no friggin' Charles Manson or somebody like that. But I was out there on the streets, man. I was doing some stupid ass shit. But when they caught me, they beat my ass, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they really handed my ass to me and didn't give a fuck about who knew about it, man.
Yeah, they didn't care back then.
Okay.
To catch back then, to catch a police brutality claim was
it wasn't happening.
It
just wasn't going to happen. You took the lumps. And you kept your mouth shut, right, man?
Right.
Because you knew that they were going to get you again if you said anything.
Today they're walking all over the police out there, and it's a shame. I mean, I know I wouldn't want to be a cop.
Hell no. Man.
Not for all the tea in China, man.
Hell no. No, sir.
No, sir.
But that's the way I see it, man. I mean, the music is going along with the generations. Okay, what happened to top 40 one-hit wonders? Remember those?
That's non-existent.
Top 40 one-hit wonders, man. You had no matter what, when you turned the dial on that radio, you had the number one hit.
Well, it was an industry of individual labels. It was, and individual projects. Now it's all one conglomerate. iHeart,
iTunes, iHeart, this one, that one.
I mean,
all these entities.
They put
streaming.
Yeah, they sort of downsized everything, and they got the monopoly on it. So it's no longer like a record company is paying a DJ to play that song. They're controlling what's being played.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
They're
yeah,
controlling.
you're absolute.
They're controlling.
There would be a time, and we've done it as far back as the '90s. You'd go to a radio station, or you go to somebody like Joe Tambara, Butterball.
Mhm.
When I had Little Petey as an artist, play this. They would play it as far back as with Drew
Yeah.
with that.
Should be twist.
Yeah, you go to a DJ, play the. You saw what happened to that time, man. It's gone, man. I miss that time. I miss going to a concert, having a great time, and not having to worry about getting sprayed by bullets, man.
Absolutely.
So just
Absolutely, man.
what time did that say, man?
Amelia, you still with us?
I guess she's not.
I am.
Oh, okay.
baby.
Do you have anything to input? Any questions?
No, I'm. Oh, what guys? What do you guys think of the homeless situation?
The what?
The homeless situation, it's absolutely unconscionable. I'll put it to you that way. It's to the point to where, again, I'm not trying to monopolize, okay? But coming up, if you saw somebody homeless on the streets, you would help them. Now, you go to New York City, you go to any city, go to Philly, right across the bridge, okay? You walk over top of the homeless.
Yeah.
They could be laying dead. You're walking over top of them. No one is helping anybody with anything unless there's something to gain from it.
And you also have to look at too is why that person is homeless. There's a lot of different case scenarios that was person may be not educated enough to get a job. Person may be on drugs. I mean, there's just so much that goes with that. But in this country, I think no one should be homeless. We're the richest country on the planet.
You got that right.
Period.
You got that right.
I think nobody should be homeless, man. I mean, that's just my thoughts about it. But
here's my take on that. If you want me to be real, I'm going to be real. Tell me when you want me to stop, because I'll stop, or maybe I won't. You got Oprah Winfrey. You got The Rock. You have this one, that one, that one. Between Oprah Winfrey alone and The Rock, they're pulling about maybe $3 billion between the two of them, and they have the nerve to ask citizens to help out what happened in Hawaii, when all they have to do is reach into their bottomless fucking pockets and write a check for $500 million. Is it going to hurt them? Hell no. They have more money than anybody could possibly fucking think of in this world, and they're out there wanting people to beg, begging people to donate, when all they have to do is go into their pockets. Here, I got enough for everybody. They won't do it. They won't do it.
it's sad. Sad situation.
Look, all the homeless could be. This homeless situation could be eradicated in no time if all these half-ass, and I'm talking about Elon Musk, I'm talking about the Bidens, I'm talking about the Obamas, I'm talking about the Trumps, and all these elite fuckers that have all of this money, that they think that they're going to run out, when it's never going to happen, that they could spend money a million fucking ways and still have enough. They just won't do it because they want to keep the homeless. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, man.
Okay? They want to keep the homeless. We know where we've been with that shit. Okay? Trying to find a place to sleep, trying to find a place to eat. As kids, I know what it's like. I worked hard all my friggin' life. For what? For what? Excuse me. Sorry about that. So, yeah, it's the homeless situation is always going. It's only going to get worse until the government finally says, you know what? Let's stop thinking about countries like Ukraine that's getting billions and billions of dollars. And where's that money going? How long is this war between Russia and Ukraine going to last? Before
They're going to keep that going as long as they possibly
Yeah,
can. That's a big money maker.
but we're running out of money. A money maker for who, though, Stretch? I'm asking.
Who do you think?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Who do you think?
They need to stop using us as chess pawns.
Dude,
Okay, and think about the realness of all this, man.
War is the biggest money maker of all time. It's bigger than oil. It's bigger than gold. It's big. It really is. And
It's big, but it's not good. It's not good for anybody.
you got to realize what took place in this country after the 40s and the 50s, when all the money that was made during the Second World War. Dude, this country was booming back then, man. Booming.
The city of Camden, everybody was working.
Yeah.
Stretch. The other night, man, and I'm not lying, I laid back and I counted in our neighborhood alone,
Mm-hmm.
20 bars.
Yeah, and that's just
And that's just in our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And every bar
was packed.
at 5 o'clock, when those whistles rang out for these factory workers, it's time to go. They'd be in the bar having a sip of beer,
Yep.
and they'd go the fuck home.
Yeah,
Okay?
they catch a beer and go home.
That's how booming Camden was until that second fucking riot hit in the summer of 71.
That's right.
Okay? That's when the jewelry stores, the movie houses, this store, they just said, fuck this, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And they left. And they left everybody behind. Okay? There was no government. You figure, how many fucking mayors in Camden have been indicted? How many political figures have been indicted since?
Well,
I'm going to say since as far as the 60s.
I never met a politician that wasn't crooked. It's sad that some of them get caught, but look, they're all there for a reason, and the reason is money. Okay. And a lot of them do dirty deals.
I think it's a little bit more than money. I think it's that megalomaniac, egotistical power that they want.
That's right.
Okay? They want, and again, I'm not talking one side. I'm talking all sides are like this. Look at the Trump and Biden thing that's going on right now.
Yeah. Look at that.
Think about that, man. You know how it's going to be.
It's going to be crazy, man.
So I don't know.
I hate to see what's going to happen, and you really can't even call it right now.
Yeah.
You really can't even call it right now.
So does that answer your question on the homeless, Amelia?
Yes. What do you guys think about what about gun control?
You want to take it?
Yeah. Gun control. You really think there is gun control in America? They can't even get the guns off the street now. There's so many guns. They don't know what to do. Okay. Unfortunately, every citizen in America has a right to bear arms. You do it legally. But there are so many guns in the street now. They'll never be able to get that. It's never going to happen. Ever. Ever. It would be like finding a needle in a haystack trying to get all these guns off the street.
It's too far. It's
too far gone.
It's too far gone. I have a way to find the needle in the haystack, but it's too fucking radical, so I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah, you'd have to declare martial law and go door to door.
Well,
yeah, you'd have to go door to door and disarm America.
People say
that's not going to happen.
People say you fight fire with fire. No, you don't fight fire with fire. You fight fire with water.
Fire with water.
That's how the fuck you solve the situation. As long as there's money being profited, people being profited by this. People ain't bringing these guns in the city. They're not going to fucking wherever and bring. These guns are being brought in by outsiders. Okay, every fucking teenager, damn near every teenager out there, every video that I watch, they're either showing you that they have it or they show you physically that this is what I got for you.
And again, it's all being promoted through music.
Okay, gun control is never going to be controlled. I hope everything is okay.
Yeah.
Jess wanted to start a business when something surprising happened.
Today I'm going to teach you how to crochet.
She started crocheting, like a lot. And her friends noticed.
Jess, you need to sell those.
So she signed up for Shopify and started building her business.
Yes, I love that.
And after a lot of hard work, this happened.
Oh my gosh, I just made my first sale!
You see, every day, hundreds of businesses get their first sale on Shopify.
We got ding!
And the next could be you. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life
And become your own boss.
build it on Shopify.
Are you there? Hello?
You're
Sorry about that. I don't know if it's an emergency going on with my phone or what.
that's quite a
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting these phone calls, and I got to figure out what's going on here.
Our phones are blowing up.
Yeah, we might have to wrap it up right now because there's an emergency going on. Amelia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So, okay, we can wrap it up. We'll just go ahead and let everybody know that next week we're going to be the 22nd and 23rd. We're going to be doing a show on who or what broke up the Beatles on the 22nd and 23rd live at 7 p.m. Eastern.
That would be great.
Yeah, and then of course the 24th, that's bullshit with you guys again at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So we will go ahead and end the show because you guys have an emergency. So
Yes.
and we're gonna run some numbers at the end of the show. So if you have a problem with alcohol or need help with somebody with NA or any needs help with counseling or anything like that, please pay attention to the numbers. Here with the helpline numbers are going to be running at the end of the show, and we guys thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And I do apologize.
So we understand. So you guys take care of what you need to take care of, and I hope that you guys take care of that. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Amelia.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.